Daniel Kawcynski, we also want to talk to you about another issue involving the leader of the Labour Party, and that's a new phrase that he's been using this week. He said it on Monday, he repeated it at Prime Minister's Questions, which was, Poland is set to become richer than Britain, which in his view is unacceptable. He says that Poland should never be richer than the United Kingdom. Now, Daniel Kawcynski, you are the chair of the all-party parliamentary group on Poland, and you wrote a letter to Sir Keir Starmer after his comments on Poland. What exactly did you say in this letter?
Well, I'm very proud to be the first ever Polish-born British Member of Parliament, and I'm the only Conservative Member of Parliament who was actually born in a communist country. At that time, Poland was a politically Orwellian society and an economically illiterate one, with communism imposed on her and her being trapped behind the Iron Curtain following the Second World War. So all the elites of Poland were murdered and destroyed. All the great elite institutions were removed by the communists. And yet Poland now has raced ahead, and she's raced ahead really because of a dynamism, a determination of the people there to create business, create prosperity and wealth. And I think rather than denigrating Poland as he has done, as if it's some sort of a banana republic, he should recognize that there are lessons to be learned as to why one European country can create the sort of dynamism, prosperity and wealth that we here in the United Kingdom ought to be emulating. But of course he won't, because Sir Keir is all about redistribution of wealth rather than the creation of wealth.
I suppose it is important context in this conversation to note it's not just the United Kingdom on a per-person basis that Poland is projected to become richer than in the next decade or so, but also France. And yet we don't hear so much in our commentariat about France being overtaken by Poland too. It is a story of extraordinary success of Poland. I wonder, though, in your letter, Daniel, you use the words borderline racism around Sir Keir Starmer's comments. Do you really believe that?
I do, and the reason I wrote the letter is at the request of the Polish diaspora. Here in the United Kingdom, we benefit enormously from having 900,000 Poles who have come and settled here. They make a tremendous contribution to the United Kingdom. Many Poles, of course, came here during the Second World War. And as you know, the 303 squadron shot down, Polish 303 squadron shot down more enemy aircraft than any other squadron in the Battle of Britain. Polish mathematicians and cryptographers were at Bletchley helping to break the Enigma codes. And Polish soldiers joined the British Eighth Army at Tobruk, Alamein and Monte Cassino. So the Poles have a very, very, very proud history of supporting their British allies, and there are many Poles living and contributing here in the United Kingdom, and many Polish people, as I go round the country, going to Polish schools, meeting young Polish children, seeing Polish businesses. I've got to know a lot of them around the United Kingdom, and there's a lot of anger from them, and they have asked me to write this letter because they feel that Sir Keir is being racist. If he was referring to, let's say, perhaps a country outside of Europe, there would have been a significant backlash. Let's make sure that all countries, irrespective of where they are, irrespective of what their religions are, their faiths and cultures are treated in a respectful way.
Now, Daniel, we were going to let you go. However, in the last couple of minutes, as you have been speaking, there's been some more news about the Labour Party. The MP Daniel Kawczynski has been suspended from the House of Commons for 5 days, assessed by the Independent Assessment Panel over issues of bullying. Now, this was following one report of anti-Chinese racism alleged in some comments to do with a conversation in a parliamentary bar some time ago. I wonder, Daniel Kawcynski, do you think that there's a problem of racism within the Labour Party?
Well, I'm not going to get into that sort of level of attack on the Labour Party, but all I will say is that living in a multicultural society, as we do, benefiting from having a more multicultural society than many other European countries is something that we ought to celebrate. It's something that we ought to all recognise and celebrate. And any form of racism to any person due to their skin colour, faith, creed, or sexuality is wrong. And of course, the House of Commons, we have now in place a very strong system with the Commissioner for Parliamentary Standards who will investigate any such inappropriate behaviour. So I don't know anything about the story. I'm on my way back to the House of Commons where I'll find out more about it. But you'll forgive me for not commenting too much until I know the story.